G'day guys, Rolfus here. Thanks. No, that's the wrong channel. G'day guys, Rolfus here with my Necron 2000 point list for 10th edition 140k for the North and South GT. They'll be happening at the end of July. I think it's like July 30th and 31st in Hobart, Tasmania. There's like over 60 places. I wasn't going to run Necrons this edition, but then Necrons are pretty cool, and that's what I got painted. And I don't have too many models to actually put together and paint for the GT, so Necron seemed like a pretty obvious choice to me. So we'll go straight into the list. And Necrons are interesting in 10th edition. They're a little bit feels better their reanimation protocols, but it's going to be a tournament. I've got to take the best army I have available, both model-wise and that sort of thing, what I enjoy playing. And I love Necrons, and I've been playing Necrons in tournaments since early 8th edition. And I actually used to play Necrons back in, I think it was 3rd or 4th edition when they first came out. So I've been playing Necrons for a long time, so I like them. They're my favorite army, so I'm going to run them, even though they feels bad at the moment. So it's pretty much around the core of two big Bobs of Lich Guard. When Necron's first index came out, it was like everyone was like, oh my God, Warriors are amazing. And I was like, nah, I don't think they're that great. And I think that Lich Guard jumped out of the pages for me straight away, well before Warriors. I didn't give Warriors a second look. The output of Warriors is just a bit crap. Yes, they're hard to kill, but Lich Guard have the hitting power and the staying power, so we're going to have two Bobs of Lich Guard. It's a very symmetrical list. So I've got 2 units of 10 Lich Guard, both led by an Overlord with a Resorb and a War Scythe. One Overlord has the Serpamental Weave. No, Hypermaterial Ablator, which gives the unit light cover if they're over 12 inches away at points. So I could put that unit in front and the other unit like behind or in cover itself. And they both have a Technomancer and 2 Crypto Thralls. So it's 14 models in these big Bobs of Lich Guard. Very hard to kill, very hard to move. And they actually have an okay amount of output. It's not amazing, but with your 4+ invulnerable save, 5 feel no pain, fighting on death, and then resing on top of that, any damage you do is going to be like amplified. So that's pretty cool. To back up the 2 units of Lich Guard, I have 2 Reanimators. They're just amazing now. I never even got them out of the box out of Indominus for 9th edition. Never even saw play. Don't forget, maybe once I might use it just for the fun of it. But so we've got 2 Reanimators, and between 2 Reanimators, I can pretty much cover most of the board or where I need them to be. I was running 1, but I think I need 2 just to give that coverage and also that redundancy in case one falls on the flank. We also have 2 Doomsday Arcs backing that up. So they're sort of going to not always sit back, but they can forward push or they can sit back and just throw down some really good shots downrange. They're amazing in 10th edition. They're finally at a place where they're actually cool and they work well instead of just complete and utter random shenanigans. Like I've had 1 kill a knight in 1 turn. I've had 1 not even kill a Gretchen in 1 turn. It's just crazy how random their massive guns are. So that's like so they're supposed to like push up the flanks. So that's my sort of like my core of my army. They sort of like push around. To support all this, I have a unit of 6 Lockhurst Destroyers with a Lockhurst Lord, and he has the Veil of Darkness because ever since the book came out 20 odd years ago, I think it was like 20 years ago, Veil of Darkness has always been a thing. You always take it. Not as good as it used to be. So you can't veil out of combat. So that's a really big thing you got to watch out for. And also, they're pretty slow now, and they also count as mounted, so they can't go through walls. So they're flying 7 inches, and you can't just fly through walls like you could before, so you can't hide them, jump them out. But you can use that Veil of Darkness to get some good positioning with them. And with the Locust Lord in there, they lethal hits on 5+, so they're going to be hitting and winning things pretty easily, even though they're low strength. AP 2 damage, it's just going to sort of grind down the enemy with their shots. Supporting this also is a Doomstalker. No. Doomstalker? Doomstalker. Canoptic Doomstalker. Just because of points, I've got 2 choices in here where I'm not too sure about. So I've got a Doomstalker. Overwatch is on a 5+, which is nice. Hits on a 4+, which isn't great. But very tough. 12 wounds, 4 invulnerable save, and just regenerates every turn. And good OC, so I can hold an objective. So I can just sit on an objective and be hard to shift. And, you put out some shots and you can do some damage too. Also in the middle, we have the Nightbringer, because I love the Nightbringer. He was interesting in 9th. I sort of brought him back at the end of 9th because he was a bit of fun. he either really did work and he couldn't be killed, or he died turn one. Now he's a bit more reliable. Like, you sort of know how he's going to survive. Like, some games you knew he was just going to survive all game, and some games you knew he was going to die straight away. But now he's a lot more fair to play against, definitely. And he's also a lot cheaper. So he's not a massive cost and not a massive investment if you do lose him early on. You've got to respect him. He's got a good sweep attack, which was a 2 damage sweep attack, which is absolutely amazing. His gauge isn't great. It's very swingy. And his big attacks isn't great either. But he can go out there and he can really bully a light infantry unit off an objective. And he is very cool, very fun. So I think that is actually it for the list. So very symmetrical. You literally have the center, which is your Nightbringer Doomstalker, and you have the Lich Guard going around the sides. I think it's pretty good. I've played 3 games with it so far. 2 were against newer opponents, I suppose you could say. So they went pretty well against them, and 1 game against a more experienced opponent, and that went well as well. So I'm actually playing in a tabletop simulator league, which I'm running this list in just to get some practice in before the GT. Tabletop simulator is amazing. I might even actually do some actual battle reports on there just to because filming a real battle report in real life is very time consuming and it's very hard to get everything organized. The game I played against Daz with the Combat Patrol, even though it was only like about 500 points each, still took almost 2 hours to record and then editing and that sort of stuff. But I want to do some more battle reports, but I'm also want to do some more lists and that sort of stuff in general, chit chat about 40k because I love 40k and I love talking about it. So that's the list, 2,000 points on the nose. I think I've gone through all the enhancements. Lich Guard, Overlord, Technomancer, Crypto Trolls, ×2, Solid, and that's it. Res Orbs everywhere, so even on the destroyers, so I get units back in my command phase and the enemy's command phase, and I can use my stratagem to use it after I got shot. I can also use that on my Lich Guard because the Overlord gets a free strat, so 1 unit Lich Guard gets shot, bring him back. Now, when you get shot, I can bring it back. So you get a lot of resurrections going, and it's very nasty, very scary. But that's it for the video. Thanks for subscribing. I'm glad to see lots of new subscribers. And also, I'm trying out some new technology, which doesn't work well for me. So I've been trying to do more live streams. There've been a few hiccups, but I'm getting there. I'm actually turning up at the right stream in the right video sometimes. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, liking, and I'll see you guys next video.